So I'm here with Mr. Gerard Ryan, who's going to be fighting again. We've seen him a lot this year, and it's good to see him in the cage. It's going to be good to see him again because obviously he had a fight that fell through. It's fight week. How are you feeling? Another title fight, another big fight against a really good guy. Thank you very much for your time, especially so close to the fight. How are you feeling?
Feel good, feel great. It's been a long camp, but we're here. We're fight week, only a couple of days out now, so buzzing.
Perfect. Obviously, it's the day of weighing, so you don't cut a huge amount of weight anyway. So do you feel like what's your feelings on the day of weighing? Because you've done it a lot with IMAFs and stuff like that. Do you feel stronger not having to cut down? I know you fight a featherweight day before as well, but do you feel stronger when you don't have to cut the weight?
It's all the one to me. I like day before I fight a featherweight, or day before I fight at a bantamweight. Same day weigh in as featherweight, so it's grand. It's not don't have to. I've only a couple of kilos to cut. Is all.
Yeah, no, I was confused there because obviously you were going to fight Michael for the other one, but
Yeah,
uh,
bantamweight isn't too fun making, but we get there.
yeah, and that's just part of the process. As that goes on, that'll get easier and easier. And with the fight coming up, you're fighting Jake. Obviously, he's a really good opponent. All you've done is fight the best of the best. If people look at your topology, it's just like it's like that. You're one of the best, and you've just fought nothing but the top guys. How would you rate Jake, and what are you expecting from him?
I Jake is ranked very high. Like I think he's ranked number three in Tapology, and he's great. Like he's loads of IMAF experience. I think he has a silver medal at one of the IMAFs. Like Jake's it's a great fight. Me and Jake have talked back and forth a bit, and we've tried to put this fight together for a while. We were supposed to fight at the Nationals. I was injured and it got cancelled, so that didn't happen. But we're here now, and it's a fight I'm looking forward to. It's a good scalp to have if I can win the fight, like when I win that fight, and that's all I'm looking for. I don't care about the belt now. It's just a nice scalp to have.
Yeah, like that. It's all experience, different types of styles, different types of bodies. Like that, you fought
Yeah,
different from strikers to wrestlers to jiu-jitsu and like that. It's all experience. But we obviously, I was talking to Johnny Duggan last night. Obviously, he's one of your opponents, and he was actually quite complimentary. He says he get on now and he talk, and he's fighting for his first title. Um, and you said you and Jake there were trying to put this fight together. Would it be natural that a lot of fighters would talk and try and put fights together, or is that just maybe your mentality and Jake's mentality?
Look, I've never had beef with anyone. It's just I suppose it's my mentality. I've become friends with like a few people that I have fought with. Um, like the likes of Johnny. Like I kind of train with Johnny a little bit now. I go down to MMA Cork a little bit, and bloody Dale Sheridan. We fucking talked. I was only talking to him there half an hour ago. Like we talk a good bit as well. Like, and we fought twice. Like I've no animosity against any lad I fought. I've talked to people. I talk to Kieran Brady every now and again when I bump into him or whatever at shows. Like, so I've nothing against anyone. Like we go in there, we settle in the cage, and that's it. Like it's just we're all chasing the same dreams at the end of the day.
Yeah, and then obviously when you're fighting each other, whether you win or lose, you're helping each other get better, improve your game, and find where you might be lacking, where you're good at, and stuff like that. But if you try to say to someone outside of fighting that people that fight each other get on so well, they think it's bizarre. But that's what I love about this sport, though, the respect factor.
Yeah, it's nice. Look, some people obviously have disagreements in and out of the cage, but it's not worth the energy for me anyway. I'm never going to do it unless you're going to make it personal. So, and again, Jake's lovely. We've talked a few times. You know, he's a nice kid too. Like, but when we're in the cage, it's all business. Like,
Yeah, and it has been the past couple of fights. You've looked fantastic, I must say, and all those years of training and everything, you can really see it. It kind of is flipped around and it's gone in your favor. And you're kind of one of the performers this year that's kind of one of the, I don't want to say most improved because you're always good, but you've really kind of come to the forefront and you're up in all these title fights. But this with the show this weekend, obviously in Cork, how good does it feel to have another show in the Republic again? Because obviously Cage Legacy's gone, and I know there is a lot of shows, but there's not many in the Republic. How does it feel to have one that's not as far to travel as usual?
it's lovely. normally I have to go up north to fight. I haven't fought in the Republic in a year and a half or more. It's been more nearly. So it's nice. Cork is a little long with an hour drive for me. It's grand. I can just rock on nice and late. Don't have to get up early to be in a mad rush to get anywhere. Like normally up to Newry is like a little over 3 hours. So like, it's a pain. It's a little bit of a pain, but yeah, it's lovely to have something more local. Like it's just more convenient. Like the convenience is lovely. Like
Yeah, no, I can imagine because obviously when you're traveling up in the morning, you're preparing for a fight. You're preparing to fight later on that day, and obviously to drive. I think with those things, not that it would affect you massively, but you want more to comfort and closer to home. But the likes of the traveling, is that something you get used to over time, and you're able to just deal with it with the amount of times you fought?
ah yeah, it's like look, I'm not going to make any excuses over. Oh, I lost the fight because I had to travel, sit in the car for 3.5 hours. Like I think when I fought on Virtus before, it was like nearly 4.5 hour journey, like just up there. It was just like it was brutal, but like didn't lose. I didn't lose the fight because I was a 4.5 hour journey. Like, but it's again, yeah. You after a while, it's whatever. You just relax as much as you can in the car and just chill out. It's fine. It's not the end of the world either.
Yeah, no, and like that, this show is quite good. I've been to the two previous ones. I think Barry's done a
Yeah,
fantastic job. How have you found dealing with them? Because they're quite easy to deal with. They're doing great stuff. They're flying people in, even for amateur fighters as well, and stuff like that. What's your dealings with them been like so far? Because I think Barry's a good guy and he's doing a really good job on the show.
yeah. I met Barry at the last show, and I did say it to him. I was like, myself and Jake for want to fight in the next show, and he's like, yeah, I want to put good fights together. So we kind of at the last show, this fight was kind of put together, and it eventually came together. I know my teammate was supposed to fight Jake because I couldn't because of the Shields fight, but Rory had to pull out for other reasons, and I stepped back in for the fight. So it just it happened by chance, but we got it done eventually.
Yeah, no, and it's been a good year for you. How would you look? How would you describe the year that you've had this year yourself when you reflect back on everything? Not looking forward, obviously, to this fight, but everything that's kind of gone on this year. How would you describe the year and what's it meant to you? Because it's been a great year.
I mean, it's just amazing. I suppose all the other tough 2 years prior to that this kind of makes up for it, and just I suppose it's just that bit more confidence I have after is like I'm really starting to put things together, and things are just coming together much better in the fights, and it's really starting to show now. And I just that my style is very dominant in how I'm fighting lads now, and it's just I'm we're getting there.
Yeah, no, like that. You're very like with the Dale fight, especially. I really noticed you stick to the game plan. You're smothering. You're really frustrating. It looks like the fight against. I wouldn't like to fight against you. To be honest, I wouldn't like to fight against anyone because I'd lose. But I'm gonna ask you a question if you don't mind answering it, because obviously you started off on a bad patch in your career.
Mm.
Mentally, if you don't want to answer this is completely fine.
No,
How hard is that mentally to go through loss after loss after loss, but then like how is it to keep going? What kind of a mindset do people have? Because you're not the only one, and there might be people that are coming through that might feel like this is the only time it's happened is to them. So what kind of got you through and kept you going?
um, I suppose between my coaches and teammates and my brother, really like look, there was some tough times there, and I was considering like it's just not for me, and maybe packing it in. And I still wanted to train, but fighting maybe wasn't an option there after one of my losses, and I just took it hard at the time. And look, so you just need the right people around you to just keep you going and get you back into that right headspace, because it does get tough, and it is disheartening. I think I was 1-6 at one stage, and it's just like, what's the point? You'd be thinking like, what's the point? Like it's just not for me. Maybe maybe the MMA is not for me or whatever. And but I suppose just one or two wins and you're back on top again. Like that's all it took, and just a little bit of momentum, and it's like it never happened. I don't have the prettiest record, but I mean I feel like I'm doing the right things near the end of my amateur career now, and it's like the record just doesn't matter anymore to me.
You know, and I like that. And I didn't want to bring that up. I didn't want to make you uncomfortable. We can cut this out if you don't want it in. But I
No,
think it'd be important for people to hear because it just shows trust the process and it will happen. And once, like you said, you get the 1 or 2 wins, the momentum swings back your way. And it just shows you talked about the record not being pretty. Once you go pro, the only person that's gonna know your amateur record is you. Do you know the sort of a way?
yeah,
And
exactly.
all those people you fought are tests and lessons that you will. I think that will make you a better pro than if you had easier fights. So the sort of way I think this will be. That's the making of you. But um, it's been a good year. You've done fantastic. Like I've said, we're not going to look past Jake, but you've been quite active this year. You've had a good year. What's your plans for next year? Do you have any plans, or are you just going to focus on the upcoming fight and get through Christmas, then worry about it?
I still want that Shields fight. I like the challenge of moving up that weight class, and I between the few people now have been putting a bit of pressure onto me. Maybe it's time to make that switch, but I'd still like maybe 1 or 2 amateur fights next year anyway, and then we'll evaluate this situation depending on how they go. But yeah, there's between coaches and teammates and whatever, just we're nearly there. But I just want a couple more fights. We're getting close to that pro ranking.
Yeah, because you can see visibly how good you are and how good you have been. And like I said, very dominant, very smooth, and very frustrating fight against them. And once you have that game plan in your head, you can see you don't deviate away from it, and you've got a good team with you in your corner. Talk to us about the gym. What's it like in the gym now? What's the talent coming through? And because especially I think the younger kind of talent coming through now, the levels are so high. Like, talk to us about that. You see those levels and go, Jesus Christ! Like the levels are just getting higher and higher, younger and younger as the years go on.
Yeah, oh man, we've Kevin Walsh in our gym, a strawweight, like, and he just strangles me, like, you know, and he's not training half as long as me nearly. You know, there's a couple other lads like just the once the level of the gym comes up, just they just even they rise faster, like, and it's hard to nearly keep up with them. But it's great to be around, like, yeah.
Yeah, it's good. It's good like that people can come up so quickly. It helps them improve, helps you improve. And Kevin Walsh is one I've had my eye on for a while. He's someone who's very, very good, and he's going to be a problem in the future. But if, like you said, with this weekend, what would it mean for you to lift another belt? Is it more about fighting Jake than lift not and not disrespecting the belt, but is it more about fighting an opponent like Jake than the belt, or would another belt just add to kind of the validation of the reason to keep going?
Look, it's a bit of all. Like the belt is nice to, I suppose, show the hard work. That's the way I look at the belts. It's like, okay, they look nice, they look fun, cool, whatever. But it's like it's a token of your hard work. That's how I view it. And the fight, the fight I love. I like the matchup. I like the challenge. Um, that's just what's really egging me on. If there was no belt, it wouldn't bother me whatsoever. It's nice to have the belt. I think it's an appreciation of both mine and Jake's work. I guess because we're both top amateurs now at this stage, you know, in our weight classes. So it's nice that we have been offered the belt, but the fight, the fight with Jake is what I'm looking forward to the most.
Yeah, so basically the fight would have happened whether there was a belt on the line or not, I would presume.
100%.
Yeah, no, it is a fantastic fight. I can't wait to see how this fight turns. So this is kind of one of the ones that I'm really keeping my eye on because like I said, there's two really good guys. The two styles are interesting, and I just it's a fun fight that I don't know which way it's going to go. It's whoever takes the dominant positions and whoever sticks to the game plan. But would have you looked at, obviously we've talked before, but because he's like very tricky on the ground, is there stuff that you've looked at with him that you need to do against him? And obviously don't give away what you're going to do or what you're not going to do, but like
Yeah.
do you have a set game plan for him, or are you just going to go and do you?
We have a game plan. I I've kind of stopped watching videos that are my opponent's fights just because I feel like sometimes when you watch them yourself, you can maybe I personally have ran into this problem. Maybe sometimes you overestimate some things and then underestimate them in other areas. So I just my coaches that are especially my brother watches a lot of the fights for me and just mimics their movement and tells me like, right, they like to do this, they like to do that, so we're going to do this, we're going to do that. So that's kind of how we go about it a little bit, I suppose. And we do have a game plan. We'll stick to it for as long as we have to, and we'll see after that. If we have to adjust, we can adjust. I'm trying not to be very as one dimensional. I am. I know I'm grapple heavy. I'm working on my striking. Don't think I'm not. I'm putting a lot of time into other areas too, to be well rounded as I can be.
Yeah, no, 100%. Because your grappling is so strong and so successful a lot of time. We don't, not that say your striking could be elite and we just don't know what it's like. So it's kind of, someone might think, right, if I go strike with them and then all of a sudden they get pinged once or twice. So it's going to be exciting to see how it turns out. But you talked about your brother there and the way he mimics the fighters' movements and stuff and he looks into for you. What's it like to have a family member and a brother, especially, to be able to kind of help each other improve, help each other prepare? What's it that kind of like to have another sibling in MMA?
It's so nice to have, because literally half the conversations we have is about fighting or what do you think of this fella, and I don't, just comparing notes, I suppose. Nearly half the time we're talking, and I suppose he's very much on the striking side. So like we could be at home at times and he's just showing me like this, move this way, move that way, or do this. And then I'd be like, right, I'd show him something with the grappling that I've kind of started picking up or whatever. Like we're very opposite in our styles, but then because of that, we can both teach each other so much. So it's so nice to have. Like it's great to have that way.
Yeah, no, I actually like the way that you're two contrasting. So you're two different styles because, like you said, you can both really learn off each other. And when you're at home a lot, would you do any extra training together? Or would it be just a lot of talking, planning, or like that, just little techniques and stuff?
Just mainly messing around. But like again, just we do whenever I'm at his or whatever, vice versa, or if he's at home. Again, just little, he'd be like, oh, can I show you this? Or I'll be the same. I'll like, can I show you that? And it's just a little bit, a little back and forth, like, well, like maybe just one little thing, and they're like, well, we could be even on the bloody tiles in the kitchen there, and we'd be just doing transitions, like just to like, oh, I saw this or whatever, and it's just nice to have. Like again, it's like we're never out of the gym mentally. Like we're always learning. Like even when we're at home, it's just we're always thinking about it. Like it's just pure passion.
No, and I love that. I love the passion, and I love the way that you spoke about your year and the upcoming fight as well. I can't wait to see this fight. Like I said, it's one of the ones I've picked out. I'm going to let you go though. I want to thank you so much for your time because obviously it's so close to the fight. Is there anything you want to say before you go?
I just want to wish everyone else on the show best of luck. Obviously, all the Cork lads, I kind of train with them a little bit, so I hope they all do well. And thanks to all my teammates, my coaches, for helping me get ready for the fight.
Perfect. Thank you so much for your time. I really do appreciate it. It's a pleasure talking again. It's going to be a pleasure watching you fight again, and I will see you very soon.
Thanks, Deb.